Good evening and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Golden Lap. We are back. We're in season 3. I have taken a little bit of a pause between recording some Golden Lap episodes because I had a few in the bank. And in that time, I got a couple of requests about the old overlay, which is just above there, about where my logo is. You couldn't see the numbers, the money. So I've made that edit. Thank you for pointing that out, guys. I do appreciate it because it's very useful to have those comments and be like, and also another thing. I'm gonna say it now. You've reminded me enough times that it cannot be forgotten. Repair under red flags. My word, I am an idiot. Look, I'm fully aware of that. I can repair under red flags. I need to remember that, and I will remember. I promise. I promise. I will remember. Let's go. We're into another race here today. Of course, in the first episode, we had our races. We had a good race. It wasn't so bad. Pratama got some good points for us. Starting things off, we've only got 4 points. Last season, of course, we finished in 5th. The season before, we finished in 6th. We're trying to move on up the boards, up the tables. Today, we go to Canada. Let's go. Let's go. Let's not hang about. 3 pit stops in a single. We'll probably will do that. But, well, I don't know. We'll do that if it seems like something we need to do. Okay, you've also asked if we could have this opened up at all times. Again, yes, we can. Of course we can. And again, guys, honestly, I'm so willing to make those kind of changes. For example, literally just before recording this today, there was a comment saying, oh, you know, the Golden Lap videos are getting a bit more traction. Maybe you want to upload those a bit more often. Basically, that's what the video was saying. And I'm like, absolutely, yes. So it was actually from the start of May. Like, I'm recording this on the 3rd of May, watching the F1 sprint race, which is kind of under red flag at the moment. So I don't know how much race we'll actually get of that. Although it does look like the rain has kind of stopped in that. Never mind. On focusing up. Yeah, start of May, I decided. I was like, yeah, you know what? Golden Lap saw a huge push in the number of subs and the number of views. Like, Golden Lap, I think, is out of the top 20 videos on the channel. It's got like maybe 5, 6, 7 of them. So Golden Lap is clearly doing well on the channel. And if it's doing well on the channel and I'm enjoying it, I'm going to play it more and I'm going to upload it more. What would be the point of not to, you know? It would be silly not to. Anyway, let's go. So, it's our first attempt. 11, that's not bad. 15, brilliant. Okay. Already at 26 after only two clicks. 5, that's good. A risky one here. Let's go for it. 8, not bad. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, that's potentially a good one. 6 isn't so good. 4 isn't so good. No. 5 there. That was a little bit of a... dang it. Could have been better at the end there. Not so good for Pratama there. Not nearly as good as Von Heim. So we might see Von Heim... well... outdo his opponent on this lap, maybe? His teammate. His opponent and teammate, of course. Pratama can't focus. Yeah, Pratama got released right behind one of those. Is that Wayland? I think it's Wayland. And Von Heim has indeed put in green sectors. Pratama can only put in white sectors. It's not a surprise, is it? Maldonado out of nowhere for the... That's Chapman, isn't it? Purple sectors. Oh, okay, never mind. My bad, I didn't mean to jinx him. That was good. That was okay. Risky here, risky. And did not pay off. Okay. Okay, this was a better one. In fact, it was a better one. Yeah, that was okay. So hopefully we won't send them out. Actually, no, we can send them out even under yellow flags. They won't put the lap time in, but I'll be able to tune them up again. It's gonna do the speed on here. I don't know actually if I can tune them up again. This is something I don't think I've tried before. Oh no, I can. Brilliant. Okay, so they just went out there. Everyone else was wasting time, I guess. Okay, that was a good little run. We're trying to get the steering up to where it needs to be. Dang it. I'm getting burned a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting burned a little bit on these... Oh, it's paused. My bad. I clicked off the window. I'm getting burned a little bit on the numbers. I'm spending money and then not sending out my drivers as well. Not doing that. Then again, hopefully I've put Von Heim into a bit of space, so his lap time will be where it needs to be. In fact, they've got... Okay, well, he says it's going to be a bad lap, but they're both going to put in green sectors here because they've got clean air, which was, I think, a good plan. And Pratama goes second overall. What the heck? Oh, my word. Oh, my goodness. Okay. That was a good one. There we go. I'm really leaving it late on the engine there, aren't I? You might be stuck behind Joel Ryan, but I did try and time the exits. It wasn't great, though. Von Heim's hit a green sector. Moretti's... Wow, look at that. We've been knocked down. Significantly knocked down, my word. Yeah, that was a bit of an error on my part, releasing them into traffic. There we go. Good. Okay, and I just wanted to spend some money on the engine there, just to make sure. The thing is, if a car ahead of me releases anyway... See, look at that. Number 7's in there in front of Von Heim as well. Like, there's just not much I can do about that. He does improve on his lap time, as does Pratama, up to 6th, which is pretty good. But Von Heim is, again, struggling a little bit, and that's not ideal. Let's go out again. Okay, we're trying to get these good tunes up and going. Oh, yeah, oh, no, I'm not risking it. There we go, I can risk that. Brilliant. That's how you do it. Okay, golden tune on Von Heim, which means from now to the end of the session, he can just absolutely send it lap time after lap time after lap time, trying to put in the golden lap that we want him to put in. That was a cracking one at the end there. What a little bit of tuning that was. Okay, let's go, Von Heim. Put in a cracking lap. You've got no one around you. No one releasing. No, they've released right in front of him again. What are they doing? Ridiculous. Von Heim, I guarantee Von Heim would have been up into at least 5th. I don't know. That's a whole second, maybe. I don't know if I can say he's going to cut a whole second off his lap, but you don't know. There's a chance. Now we've got to work on... Okay, that does it. Dang it! There was nothing else I could do. I mean, I guess I could have waited for the next run, but I can't. I can't be waiting. You've got to risk it. You got to risk it. Okay, there's a lot of cars near Von Heim here, which isn't ideal, but Pratama might have a free bit of road, and he does. And those are some green sectors. Von Heim goes up, Pratama goes in 2 green sectors. Where's he going to go? Up to 6th. Not bad. And of course, there's another lap for Von Heim, and we've got another chance now with Pratama to try and get that tune that we need. Come on, out you go. And there we go. Brilliant. Good. And a bit of clean air as well for both drivers. Maybe this is it. Is this the green sector times that we're after? We're just watching over here, guys. No, white for Pratama, green for Von Heim, who goes faster than his teammate. Oh, that's a dramatic end to the session for us. In particular, Von Heim, you know, the second best driver out there for more or less that entire session. And then he comes up with a very good last lap to win the session for us and go 6th. Now, what have we got? We've got Wayland either side of us, LeBron either side of us as well, a Chapman at the top and a Chapman at the bottom, and of course, Ezzolini's leading the way. That was a very good session. Okay. Right, we're going to go long with Von Heim, and we're going to try and get Pratama making some overtakes. So I'm going to let Pratama through. He's going to drive pretty aggressively at the start of this race. Let's open up the lap times because that's what it was asked for. And I'm going to move the track so we can see the entire track. And Pratama, unfortunately, has dropped down, recovers a little bit into 7th place. Von Heim was absolutely kind of tanked it off the start there anyway, which maybe that's because I've asked him to let his teammate through. I don't really know. Pratama goes to 6th. Von Heim is dropping down, but of course, Von Heim will have tyres to kind of work through. So we're not really worried about him. He's driving the long game. Anyway, there's most cars are on the soft. You can see that. Pratama in 7th. Let's do this to double speed. Pratama's got a Chapman right on his tail. We are 4 laps in already. Wow, that does go quite fast, doesn't it? Okay, let's tell them both. Let's get driving. Let's get going. Let's see if Von Heim can make up. There's one position. There we go. Pratama makes into 6th. He's going to try and get a gap going and try and catch up to the LeBrons. Won't look like he won't really be able to, so let's calm him down. And Von Heim has made it to 13th. There we go. Okay, Pratama down to 7th again. It's not a problem. I'm not really worried about it. I am trying to... I'm kind of hoping Von Heim gets himself up into the points here today. It can't really be Pratama getting all of our points. It's not... It's just not really enough, is it? You know, you can't really be competing with one driver doing all the work. I need Von Heim to do... He had such a good qualifying session. I need him to be a little bit more ruthless in the race, and that may be down to the fact that he says this driver knows his limits. He's careful. I think I've only got 1 lap left for Pratama, and then these tires are going to have to go. So I'm going to make that pit now. I'm going to throw him on. We could go medium. If there's a yellow flag, we could potentially go medium, stretch it out, and then soft. Or we could just go hard and then soft at the end. No, I'd rather put him on the medium, as there's probably more of a chance of our man. Okay, Pratama's in the pits, that's alright. Comes out in 13th. Will relatively quickly, I'm sure, catch up to Von Heim and be let through. Although, let's turn that off for now. And tell Von Heim to take the drivers. Actually, is that... No, that's the wrong tactic. That's the wrong tactic. If Pratama gets let through, then potentially Von Heim will be allowed through. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Von Heim, let him through. No, he's not, because I haven't asked him to. There we go. Now they should swap. And they have. Okay, cool. Okay, Pratama in 9th. The gap is relatively significant up to Maldonado. Let's just lower it to 1x speed while I think about this. So we've got Pratama here. There's Maldonado with the two cars of Hamilton and Boya. They're not Wayland. Are they Wayland? Fonseca Wayland? I can't remember all the colours. There's a lot of blue teams. In fact, there's 4, isn't there? Wayland, this team. There's too many. The gap is actually growing. But we do have Pratama in a little bit of space. So that is good news. Let's see if we can get Von Heim past Campbell and into the points. Right on his gearbox. There we go. Okay, no. So it wasn't an overtake that actually got us that position. It was our opponent diving into the pits. But that's okay. That's fine. Okay, I've got the sprint. Oh! Got the sprint race on next to me. And Antonelli lost a couple of positions there. Dang. Okay, let's calm it down. Von Heim is into the points, but there is not really much of a gap. Although they will have blue flags to let Moretti through in a minute. Okay, Pratama's doing really well out there on his own. I'm a bit of a fan of that. Doing good stuff. And I back our drivers nearer the end of this race to do good stuff as well. Okay, so Von Heim hasn't made a stop. I think a medium's probably not going to make it to the end here, is it? Let's have a look. It's not. A hard tyre will make it to the end. It says they've got 8 to 16 laps left. But he is the only car who hasn't made a stop. And there were hard tyre cars out there. So clearly they've all made the stop. I don't want to be on these tyres for too long. I'm going to hold fire for a minute. When Pellegrini makes that overtake, whenever that happens, because I am imagining it will happen, that's when we'll tell Von Heim to pit. Unless, of course, now he's pulling away. So, okay, we're going to calm it down. But tell him to pit. He's got 6 to 11 laps left. Just stretching these tyres and seeing if we can get them. Potentially, not these tyres, the next set of tyres. Okay, we've got to pit now because there's cars coming in for a second stop. Okay, in he goes. Right, perfect timing right at the pit stop. It's a good pit stop. And now Von Heim is... We more or less just let Von Heim go to the end. And again, I'm actually going to do the same thing with Pratama as well. I think it's not the worst idea. Just to get him on the hard tyres. We go to the end. We pick up positions. And hopefully we have the tyres in the bank to hold on to that. So we are 10 and 11 right now. I can tell them to go full send. I reckon with the engine, it is going to kind of, well, of course, it's going to burn our engine a little bit faster. But the reason for that is we want to get a double points finish. So when cars go into the pits, do we make up positions? That's the question. Not yet. Not yet. But you've got Pellegrini, you've got Bauer, You've got Woods, you've got Ryan, you've got... There we go, we're double points right now. And we're just telling them to go. Just to keep going. Even though 8th is 13 or 14 seconds up the road. Rodney Campbell with another slow pit stop. What is happening back there? What is going on? Von Heim out here pulling a one-stopper is a bit crazy. I don't see anyone else going for the one-stopper. And I am tempted to up the speed of this right now, you know, go to ×4, but I'm not going to do it. I think if something does happen here, any kind of yellow flag or any kind of trouble with, well, with anything, with anything, we will pick up more position, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell them both to stretch those tyres for a bit, and we're going to just bounce between the red. Oh, Rinaldi's got a problem. Unfortunately, that's not... We don't really gain anything from that. Okay. Into the red. We calm it down. And then when they are fully rested again, we'll go back again. And this is just trying to make sure, absolutely make sure, of this double points finish. It's again, it's not really where we want to be finishing. Then again, cars are going to have to pit. They are going to have to pit. Some cars have got no tyres left on them at all. So, depending on how long those pit stops are, are they going to pit? We're going to send it all the way to the end here because we're almost at the last laps of the race. I don't think it is likely that we do catch up any points here, but I mean the gap is coming down. Pratama is gaining, but there we go. Okay, I think I missed a trick there at the end. If I'm being honest, I didn't really recognize how close to the end of the race we were. We probably could have pushed a little bit earlier. But there were cars, because there were cars out there on a one-stopper with absolutely no rubber left on the tyres. They were really struggling. Whereas we had stretched that first stint with Artie von Heim, and he had rubber. He could have pressed more. However, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because I think those cars are just a bit faster than us. That's just the situation we are in. It's not Wayland. So Wayland is up here. It's Vernier down there. And Bancroft here are the white. So it was Wayland that we were kind of competing with. But this is quite a point here. The top 5 teams are filling up the top 10 positions. The bottom 5 teams are filling up the bottom 10 positions. So you are seeing a clear trend of the teams that we are faster than and the teams that we are slower than. And I mean, you can see here from Pratama, look at that, 53.8 is faster than Joel Ryan. It's faster than Maldonado. It's faster than Bauer, which is why we can obviously qualify pretty high. But do we have the car to make that count over the course of 64 laps? Not so much, I don't think. But we had a good race nonetheless. We didn't perform 3 pit stops because we went for a 2-stopper. It's only worth $2, and we were unfortunate there not to get one position and get another $3. You can see up the top right. You can see the money now. There we go. I hope you can. You can. Brilliant. You can see the money. On my screen, I've got myself down the bottom right. Of course, you can see all this, but this is me working it out from my own overlay. You can see the money now. And we're going to take one more look at the team standings. So we are solidly in 5th. But it's already a gap, isn't it? It's already a gap. So I'm thinking that I think it's probably a good idea, while we are able to relatively easily finish in a double points. Like, I don't want to spend the money kind of going crazy on the car just yet. I'd rather, I don't know. I really don't know. So looking at the upgrades, it would increase performance, it would. I don't know, I feel like it's probably silly to just say outright, we're not going to do any upgrades, because other cars are going to do upgrades. But I don't want to make that decision right now. I don't. Okay, that'll be it from me today, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It was a pretty good double points finish for us. Hopefully that's something we can keep kind of going on the regular. Pratama getting 8th in the last race, and then we get a 9th and a 10th. I think, well, last season I was kind of looking for consistency, but I do think this season it's going to be a lot about, can we just solidify that 5th place finish? And whether or not we do upgrade the car yet or not, I don't know. If you think, you want to leave a comment about that, whether or not we should go for upgrades now or save the money, let me know. But that'll be it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I do hope you enjoy the 3rd season thumbnail, because I really like the blue that I picked. And yeah, I shall catch you next time.